Hey, Internet, how's it going? Welcome to day 3 of Signal Jam 4. Signal Jam the 4th. Um, if you were here Monday and or Tuesday, you probably knew that you've probably known that we were making a. Oops, my my screen is being loud. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, no. If you if you hear the previous couple days, you might have caught that we're making a 2D open world RPG about loot drops around the theme. Didn't expect that to happen, but okay, that's the theme. Um, and yeah, so hopefully we can wrap the project today. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but it could, and if it does, wouldn't that be neat? Um, so yeah, I'm in. Sorry, I haven't switched over to screen cam yet. I'm still getting things set up. I'm just taking advantage of the fact that I can start broadcasting like a minute early while I'm still uh, getting things in order. I hope you don't mind. It usually takes a moment for people to show up anyways, so I figure might as well spend that time doing something productive. Hey, welcome to everyone who might potentially be watching at this point. So, all right. So I'm launching softwares and stuff, and getting getting all that stuff in order. I'll kick off side quest in just a moment, so we can have that up and running. And I guess while that's getting set up, I might as well talk about what my goals are for today. Like I mentioned earlier, hopefully we can finish the game today. And so I've been thinking about what would we need what would we need to do today in order for me to feel comfortable saying the game is done. Like this isn't just a whatever. This isn't just like, stuff that we made. This is literally a game that we made. Like hypothetically even like, a complete game. Not like a finished, polished ready to be released product sort of finished. But like I want I guess I don't know. When I'm working on a project like this, I aim to get it to a state where it has as much as it would need in order for you to understand what a finished product of it could be like, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. Um, oh, actually, before I run side quests, or I mean, I did just run side quest, but I was thinking of tuning something in side quest, and I forget what exactly. Oh no, I remember what I was thinking of tuning. Yeah. Wait, hold on. What was I planning on tuning? Yeah. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Just 1 second. So I'm gonna. I did just run side quest, but I'm gonna shut it down, and then I'll kick it back up. Oh, all right. So when I rerun side quest, it has to be down long enough for Trusty Bard to exit the chat channel. Hey, people who have shown up already. Um, so yeah, I will put side quest up back in just a second, and then actually we're about ready to get started on like stuff for reals. There was just one value that like I've been trying to think like how to like the balance of side quest, like it felt pretty okay. It just I was like, it needs a little more tweaking, a little more tuning. It needs a little something. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what that is right now. I don't want, so like I want like the early levels in side quest to be, I don't want it to take too long to get the early levels in side quest. Because the early levels are not major levels either. Like, you get like a walking stick and you get gloves and you get like, well, those are the first two, for example. So I was thinking of like, how do I balance this and make it so that you can still get those, it doesn't take too much effort to get those. And then, but I also wanted it to be that like once you started getting cooler items, like you didn't just like get them and lose them immediately. Like you could actually hold on to them for a little longer. So I think mathematically, I have a sense of how that might work better, or I have an idea of how that might work better. So, all right, the script has probably been down long enough that when I run the script again, it'll probably work correctly, and then I'll switch over to stuff and whatnot, and et cetera, et cetera. Let's see if this works. So we'll know that the script works if we see not just Trusty Bard, but if we see other characters following behind Trusty Bard. All right, and then so that's probably enough of that. And sorry, just one last thing before we switch it, before we kick things off for today. Doop-a-doop. It's not an illusion that this coffee cup looks ginormous. This coffee cup is literally ginormous. Like, I have big hands, relatively big hands, and like I can't even like grip this coffee cup. It's more like a coffee bowl. Lazy Brussels sprout, hey, how's it going? Welcome. Bradley, hey, welcome. Oh, sorry, yeah, I kicked the stream off today. Usually I do a little bit of setup before I kick the stream off, but we're in face cam right now because I was like, hey, I'll just kick the stream off and then do the setup work, and then we can switch it over to face cam, to give people time to show up. So yeah, welcome. We'll get to the real stuff in just a moment. Ooh, all right. I'll be honest. The last thing I do before I go live is I check out Twitter, but Twitter's really sad today, so I don't think I can do that. Yeah. All right. So let's get to the stuff. Oh yeah, Merry holiday Christmas times to the Christmas Eve times to. Wait, is there anywhere in the world? Okay, actually no. I guess technically are there places in the world where it's actually Christmas yet? Because I think it's Christmas Eve a lot of places, but I guess I forget how time zones work. Anyways, happy merry holiday, Christmas, happy good time, festival, joyous occasions to everyone. All right, cool. Switching over to screen cam. Right, so this is like the game as we had it, and excuse me. There are a few things that yeah, there are a few things I know that have to change. There are a lot of things that I know that has to change, but I think I mentioned I do have like an idea of like what like this finished product could be. So, oh really? Interesting. Well, happy merry holiday Christmas times, German style to Lazy Brussels sprout and everyone else who's tuning in from. Oh wow! All right, everyone in the Philippines, everyone in Germany. Happy merry holiday occasion, celebration, spectacular, family times, whatever. All right, yay! One thing I want to do with this game, I want to take out the randomness. So like when you give a character a thing, I want you to actually have like be able to know like what you're going to get. And so I actually want another pop-up. I want it so that so like what happens now is when you pick up an item, you get this little pop-up here that like you got the item. And I want to introduce another pop-up. I want to have a second pop-up that shows up when after this transaction. So you click on an item in your inventory, you click the give button, and I want a pop-up that says, so we just talked to the infinite-eyed monster and we gave it a ring and we got a wand. So like if that is how the formula works, I want this new pop-up to say it should show the infinite-eyed monster, and then it should say plus, and then it should show the ring, and it should say equals wand. So that way players can actually start to figure out like what is happening. The other thing I want to do is I want to add signs in the world, because you know how in RPGs you walk up to signs and it gives you like a little bit of information. I want you to be able to walk up to signs, and some of these signs will give you pieces of these equations. So like for example, you can like so as Lion decided yesterday, excuse me, the main quest in this game, or like the only quest in this game really, is to give eyeballs to a skeleton. Hence the name of the stream today. So when you and so in order to give eyeballs to the skeleton, you need eyeballs. So in order to get eyeballs, you need to figure out how to get eyeballs. So maybe there'll be a sign in the world that says, for example, infinite-eyed monster plus ruby equals eyeballs. And then when you find that sign, you're like, oh, well, I have to get a ruby and I have to give it to the infinite-eyed monster. Or actually, I should probably do it the other way around. I should probably say ruby plus infinite-eyed monster equals... I don't know. Well, it's one of those two. It's either like item character equals item plus character equals item, or character plus item equals item. Either way, we can figure that out, which feels better. But oh, cool. Headphones. Oh, that's yeah, a good pair of headphones versus a bad pair of headphones. Like that can make a huge difference. Those are one of those items that like when you get a good pair, that's awesome. um. Oh, whoa. Wow, Chandler. You're a generous, good person. Wow. Your cousins are lucky to have you. Oh, wait. Are you saying you bought longboards for your cousins, or you bought longboards from your cousins? Either way. Have a good time. Watch out for ice. All right, so, oh yeah, so then the other thing, so like this, okay, so I talked about the pop-up, I talked about the math, and I talked about the signs. The other thing that, like, we knew we needed to do, because this is supposed to be an open world game, is I want to actually structure the game a little bit more. So one of the assets that got made yesterday was, a building interior. And I don't know if I'm going to have time to hook up, like, actually entering and exiting buildings. So I think in the grand tradition of, I don't know what. Sorry, in my mind for a second there actually was a relevant grand tradition. No, but like basically the game is going to start inside a building. And so then all we have to do is we just have to hook up exiting the building. And we don't have to hook up re-entering the building or entering other buildings. But like you start in a building and then you exit the building and then you're in the world. And then, I don't know. A little cheap, but we need cheap right now because we like okay, so today is not going to be a marathon stream. Like today's not going to be a mega stream. Today oh, I don't have music. Sorry, I'm going to hook up my own. Sorry. Pardon, just a moment. Yeah, no, today we have like I think about a little over 6 hours. So yeah, something to keep in mind. While we're working. So sorry, just one second. Yeah, okay. Sorry. So yeah, I think that's the plan. Let's get to it. Sorry, just adjusting things. And so first let's start mocking up the other pop-up. So we have the UI. We have so this will be item pop-up. The pop-up that the first pop-up we had will be item pop-up. And then I'm just gonna copy and paste this and then rename the new one to be math pop-up. And we need to change what the math pop-up does and how it looks and stuff like that. So for one thing, it's going to be on the other side of the screen. It's going to, excuse me, it's going to be instead of negative whatever, it's going to be positive whatever. Wait, what? Oh, right. Oh. Yeah, whatever. Okay, hold on. I forgot. I kind of, yeah, I don't know. Some of the transforms in this project are a bit jumbly, but whatever. So I'll just put this at +3. Yeah, there we go. I just basically wanted it to be on the opposite side of the screen. So now, because hypothetically, we could have all of these things on. We could have all of these things on screen at the same time. The item pop up, the dialogue, and the oh, so actually I guess the dialogue should actually come down slightly further, because just to make it like so that we're using the screen space somewhat equitably. All right, and so yeah, it's gonna be rare that all of these things will be on the same screen at the same time, but like it could happen. So let's look at that for a moment. Chandler, sorry, I just motives. All right, so the math pop-up is going to be bigger than the item pop-up because it's going to show a number of things. It's going to show uh, it has to show 3 icons and 2 additional symbols. Additional symbols, pun intended, because it's going to be a plus sign and an equal sign. Get it? Addition. Addition. Do you get it? Carl? Carl, do you get it? Sorry. um, yeah, no, there's something wrong with me. I don't know, whatever. Maybe this should be the same width as that one. I don't care, whatever. Alright, so so now we need 3 frames and 3 icons. So this will be character icon, and then copy paste, give icon for the icon that we're giving, and then, or like for the icon in the first half of the equation, and then so actually, yeah, we can start lining these up. So the frame and the character icon will be over here. Yeah, we might need to widen this even further, probably, just to get them to fit comfortably. And then copy paste, and then the get icon. So excuse me. So these had a negative blah 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 whatever. So let's give the get a positive blah 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 whatever instead of a negative. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna make this wrap all the way across the screen. So it's gonna be less like a pop-up and more like a banner, I guess. Because I just don't see this all fitting comfortably in a pop-up. Wow, are you guys okay? Are you guys a little depressed for the holidays? Let me know. Hey, Andy James Adams, how's it going? Welcome. Let me know if you guys need a little pick-me-up or something. Because if you're just wallowing in a puddle because you like wallowing in a puddle, that's fine. But I'm worried about you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, so let's just move this here. Now I want to give space between these icons to clearly show the equation symbols. So yeah, this should be fun. Sorry, just 1 second. I'm gonna mute the microphone, but I will be right back. I'm not actually going anywhere. Hey, sorry. I can sing Jingle Bells. Hold on, let me stop the music that I'm listening to, otherwise I'm gonna end up singing that by accident. Jingle Bells? Wait, I know Jingle Bells. That's the one that goes like, Jingle Bells, right? That's the one? Is that the one? Do I know Jingle Bells. I know I have to know it. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. That's how it goes, right? Is that all right? There you go. Are you feeling better now? Is it working? All right, hold on. Let's copy this value. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh! Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Something, something, jingle bells, and then this song can end. Yay! I forget. Sorry. I don't know if you could tell, but I started ad-libbing at a certain point there. I can't remember quite how the lyrics went. All right, so this will be roughly our equation. The last things that I need to add to set up this is between the character icon and the give icon, we need a plus icon. All right, give me more requests. That clearly is not my song, but I'll take more requests. I can do this. I'm sure there's something I can sing less unimpressively. All right, actually, let's be looking at. I keep looking at it on the main game screen, but I really need to. Oh yeah, right now I forgot because the way the clip planes work. All right, I guess I'll try and line this up. Nah, think that's roughly like centered between those two icons. Yeah, I don't care. Close enough. All right, yeah, I'm gonna just bust out paint to make the icons real quick. Yeah, right. Okay, sorry. I was just thinking. If I add in the plus and the equals icons, is that going to make the X icon look like a multiplication icon? Because that would make less sense. I can change it if I accidentally introduce confusability. And because this is going to be like these are going to be, oops, sorry, put my hand too close to the camera. Because these are going to be such good icons, I'm actually going to bust out our tablet for it, because I don't know why. I guess I feel I need heavy artillery for this, for some reason. This is going to be such a plus sign, I tell you. Such a plus sign. No, this is gratuitous and unnecessary. But actually, I think I probably will have to make more art later today, because, like, either this game is going to exist entirely in the context of a grassy area with bushes and houses, or we'll need more assets to flesh out the game world. So, either way, I mean, if we actually need more assets, if we decide we need more art, then I might have to start making some of that too. So, anyways, yeah, no, for starters, we just need something very simple, just a plus sign. Oop, slightly less simple than that. Let's use a slightly bigger brush. All right, very simple. Plus sign. Actually, I'm gonna do these separate layers, but only for a good reason. Alright, that's terrible. How'd that turn out so bad? Oop, wrong layer. Alright, that's their plus sign. Yeah, we did it. Alright, smoosh these. File, save as, plus. This can go in the miscellaneous folder. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze, so I'm just gonna mute the microphone for a second. I'll be right back. Sorry, that was me explaining that I was about to sneeze while I was about to sneeze, is what that was. Sorry for the brief interruption. Excuse me. Alright, alright, so save this, and then, excuse me, undo, excuse me, wow, my face, what's wrong with it? Or wait, no, I didn't need to do that. Redo, I don't know. New layer. So that was what the plus sign looked like, and now we're just making equal sign. Oops, different layer. On this layer, that looks similar, so that they don't look weird together. That's too wide. I don't care. Alright, so no, that's too far apart. I was thinking I should space them distance apart, equivalent to the like the grid kind of shape that the plus sign kind of defines, but no, that's silly. That's a bad idea I had. I had a bad idea. Sorry. Now instead, let's go roughly like this, and then like this. I'm spending a lot of energy and effort into making a plus sign or like these symbols that are going to turn out really unimpressively. Why, you might ask? And the answer is, I don't have a good answer. Yay, we did it. Those might be slightly too close together, so I'm actually going to space them ever so slightly. Or else I'm going to try and space them, and then it's not going to turn out how I liked, and then I'm going to start over or something. Either of those are entirely likely outcomes. Nah, whatever, I'm going to call that done. So nuke that layer. I called it. Way too much effort. Horrible results. Anyways, save as equals dot thing. Sorry, I'm going to mute the microphone for 1 second more, and I will be right back. I apologize. Sorry about that. So I'm allergic to something at my new apartment, and I haven't figured out what yet. So I apologize for all the frequent interruptions, but hopefully I'll be able to identify what the heck is going on and stop sneezing eventually. That's one of my goals in life, is to not spend my entire life sneezing. All right. Anyways, we have these symbols now, so let's add these and whatnot. So yeah. Whoa. What is that? Apparently I left some like cruft in these images because they look weird here. But hopefully if I do alpha is transparent, they'll start looking normal again. There we go. I don't know what was up with that. That was weird. And a little bit startling too, but whatever. Excuse me. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, so plus icon. Let's put our plus sign on our plus icon. Yay, look at that. And now let's plug in an equals icon. Oops. Equals icon. So I was originally conceiving this as like something plus something equals something, but I might change it so that it's like it's arrows instead. Like, because I was thinking like character plus item equals other item, but it might be item, arrow, character, arrow, other item. I don't know what'll convey the message better, and it might not matter. It's a very subtle distinction, but I just want to make sure that it turns out looking okay, that it conveys the point, right? It conveys what we want it to convey. I think these are slightly, just ever so slightly too big, so I'm gonna shrink these down. All right, they're currently scale of 2, so let's say like 1.75. 1.75. Yeah, that's slightly better, I guess. I don't know. Lumpex, hey, how's it going? Welcome. We're finishing up this game. We're gonna do it. We're gonna finish it. It's gonna be super done. Super done. By the end of the day. Probably. We hope. Maybe. We'll see. Alright, so we need reference to this pop-up, and we need reference to these icons. Excuse me, icon, the give icon, and the get icon. Because we'll need to set these on the in the instance that we either make a transaction and therefore know what that transaction is, or when we bump into a sign and the sign tells us whatever. This game, yeah, technically this game is compatible with mobile. So once we're done with it, we can do this on we're building it for PC. Well, actually no, we haven't even built it yet. So yeah, technically, whenever we're ready, we can build it for PC, we can build it for web, we can build it for mobile, and it should work on all of those platforms. So that's kind of cool, right? Avatar Connor, hey, how's it going? What did I have to get to be able to do this, like hardware wise? That's a good question. I think the most wait, do you mean the game development or do you mean the streaming? I'll answer both questions. I think the most expensive, or like the most hardware intensive thing that I use right now is Unity. So if you look up so Unity 3D, for example, so I use Unity, and if you want to use Unity, I would check out what are the minimum specs for like what's the what's the minimum hardware that you need in order to run Unity 3D? Because as long as you can hit that requirement, then I think most of the other software I use is actually, it's not going to be quite as intensive. So as long as you can run Unity 3D on your machine, you can probably do everything that I'm doing here. But if you mean also streaming, then yeah, and I guess if you wanted to stream as well, then the other thing you need is a really solid internet connection, because that makes all the difference. And I mean, other than that, you just yeah. I mean, there's like other software that I use, but like it's mostly lightweight. I mean, one of the things I really like about software development is that it's actually it's not that hard to get started, and it's basically if you have a computer and you have an internet connection, you have almost everything that you need, and you can download the rest of what you need. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. If you have more specific questions, please let me know. I am happy to provide whatever insight you are interested to hear. All right. So this new pop up. Let's go to our script and I don't know if you guys do this, but I put eggnog in my coffee, and it's the best thing. It's the best thing. It's a little dangerous, because then the eggnog makes it so delicious that I want to just keep chugging it. And so I end up getting wired because I drink coffee way too fast because it's too delicious. But if you have eggnog and you have coffee, I highly recommend the combination of the two. Because eggnog reminds me of melted ice cream. And melted ice cream is basically everything you need to make coffee delicious. It's it's cream, it's sugar, it's delicious. It's just top notch, truly. All right. So to reference this this pop up, let's say, so I'm just gonna call this public game object. I don't know. I'll call it transaction. No, I'll call it math pop up. Neither of those are quite right, but yeah. I don't know. Whatever. That's. I know what that means. Let me know if that's. Let me know if it's unclear why I'm naming it that. Sorry, I got grapefruit on my keyboard earlier, and now my key is sticky. Okay. So public game object math public game object math pop up, public game object math character or math NPC icon, public game. Actually, no. Public game object array math pop up icons. And I'll just remember which are which. It'll just go in the order from left to right, because that's how people tend to read in my culture, and in other cultures too. Some other cultures, not all cultures. Is there a culture that reads right to left? I feel like I remember hearing that there was once. I remember once hearing that there is what I meant to say. But I might be making that up. I might be being culturally sensitive to cultures that don't exist. Alright, cool. So let's set those, because I always forget to set my public whatevers. But this time I will remember. Alright, so this is length 3, or size 3. So the pop-up is the pop-up itself. That's so we can show and hide it. And then the icons are character, give, and get. And that's so we can use the same pop-up to show a number of different possible equations. And also so we can, yeah. So we can tune those equations without having to change the art or anything. All right. So now let's hide these. Oh, yeah, that was another thing that I didn't. I think on startup we make sure that the the inventory and donation are hidden, but let's make sure the pop-ups are also hidden at start by default. In case so while I'm working on them, sometimes I accidentally leave them on screen, and that would get bothersome. So srsly pop-up and math pop-up. Set active false. Because at the start of the game, none of those should be on screen. Alright. So, let's, excuse me. Yeah, now let's start hooking it up. So now, so we don't have signs in the game yet, but we do have, Tom, hey, how's it going? Welcome. Merry Christmas to you as well. Happy holiday, festive, joyous occasion time, winter happiness. We're doing math or something. Not really. I'm calling it math because I used a plus sign and an equal sign, but it's actually, it's more about like rules. Wow, math and rules. Nothing more fun than math and rules. No, it should be interesting once we get it done, yeah, it's, so basically, like, right now, the game, if you play it, it feels a little haphazard, like, if you just jump into the game right now and start running around, like, you can pick up sticks, and you can give things to characters and get things, but it just seems a bit haphazard. It's like, okay, I give you a stick and I get a baguette. I'm gonna call that a french fry, because it's, I don't know, but, this is a baguette. Okay, so you give a baby a stick and you get a golden mustache. So, part of the reason it feels a little haphazard right now is because it is a little haphazard. It's actually mostly random what you give and what you get. But, what I want to do is I want to lock down those rules of, like, what you get when you give a thing. And then, so this new pop-up that we're using will, clearly indicate, wow, look at all these wands I have. The new pop-up that you get will clearly indicate what has occurred, what has transpired on this day. Look at all the eyeballs I'm gonna get. I'm really good at this game, I don't mean to brag, but look, I have eyeballs. So the skeleton's not in the game yet, but if the skeleton was in the game, the skeleton would be like, hey, look at all these eyeballs. That's what the skeleton would say. Oh, yeah. Oh. Huh. I'm just thinking, yeah, I think we might need a new icon to indicate the end of the game. Or something. I don't know what'll do that, because I think we need math to indicate that, like, so one of the things I want to do is I want to add signs into the world. So once we have, like, a little more rhyme and reason as to, like, what you give and what you get, I want to add a little more rhyme, once we have that, I want to add signs that when you talk to the signs, instead of getting the transaction dialogue, you get, you just get the notification thing that, that tells you, math, basically. Like, so when you walk up to a sign, it'll give you a hint, basically. Like, it'll tell you, like, baby plus wand equals ruby, and it'll tell you, like, infinite-eyed monster plus ruby equals eyeball, and it'll tell you, oh yeah, so then I also want one that because, like, the way you beat the game is to give the skeleton the eyeball, no, yeah, both eyeballs, huh. Oh, sorry, I was just thinking for a second. Yeah, I want a sign that'll let you know that, yes, you're supposed to give the skeletons the eyeballs. You're supposed to give the skeleton the eyeballs, and I was just thinking, like, what does that equation mean? Because you don't actually get anything for giving the skeleton eyeballs. But I want it to be clear that giving the skeleton eyeballs is the correct thing to be doing. So maybe I'll put that sign next to the skeleton or something. Or something. Maybe the skeleton will act like a sign. No. Yeah, I'll just put that sign next to the skeleton or something. So, like, I think the way the game is going to go is, like, you're going to start inside this building or, like, a building like this. And you're actually going to start with the interior space. Because we have I'm blanking on who. I'll remember in a second. Because someone made such a lovely interior art for these buildings, I want to make use of it. So you're going to start indoors, like you're going to start inside a building, probably like here or something, and then the first thing you can do is like leave the building, and then you're out in the world, and so you exit the building, and let's say you come out here, and then I want the skeleton to be like right nearby. I want like the first thing you see, skeleton, like just chilling. Because I need the skeleton to seem really important. I need the character has to see the skeleton, because if they don't see the skeleton, then it'll be really hard for them to figure out what they're supposed to be doing in the world. But it is open world, so maybe we can let them explore a little bit. I don't know. I just want to make sure that it's, I don't know, it's a fine balance between like the way, I mean, the way games are supposed to go, you have to keep the player interested, but you can't like I don't know. But we just have to make sure that the game plays in a way that the players feel compelled and interested and don't get bored or frustrated and stuff like that. That's all we have to do. Just that. That's all we ever have to do. So, with that in mind, yeah, let's continue with the math. The mathy pop-up-y things. So where's the part where a transaction occurs? Here. Here is where transaction occur. So because we need these pop-ups to show up in a couple different cases, I should probably make this generic. So void show math pop-up. We need a character, so we need an int for the character type, or NPC type. We need an int for the given type, or the give type. The item give type. Item type give. There we go. And we need an int for an int for item type get, or item. It could be an item type in and type out. Hey, Viper Echo. Viper Echo. How's it going? Right. Okay. So what happens here? Okay. Right. So we need so we have a timer for the we were just naming these generically. I'm gonna rename these. So this is gonna be renamed to time at which to hide receipt pop up. Hey, we got a new follower. Viper Echo. Thank you for following. I appreciate your viewership and your support. Welcome. All right. So now since we have two pop-ups, I'm gonna rename the variables that I'd been using, that I'd named too generically for the other pop-up. So time at which to hide receipt pop-up and receipt pop-up duration. Change those, and of course, since that was a public float, it's not going to remember its old value. When I save this again, I think it was 1.5. Because if you rename, no, it was 2.5. Oh no, that's because I renamed it. Yeah, whatever. All right, so I have to set it back out here. I think it was 1.5. I could be mistaken, but I think it was like 1.5. And yeah, so I wanted to differentiate those because I think the math pop-up is going to actually stay on screen a little bit longer than the receipt pop-up, because the math pop-up is telling you more. It's not just like, oh yeah, here's the thing that you knew you were going to get anyways. Like oh yeah, so the game we're working on now is it's actually a jam game that we started on Monday, and so we decided to make an open world 2D RPG about loot, and so we yeah, here I can show you what we have so far. Basically, what you can do so far in the game is you can pick up items. Like for starters, you just get sticks, and you can talk to characters and you can give them stuff, and you get different items depending on what you give them. So like you can give. Oh, I gave the sword back, so I actually didn't mean to do that, but whatever. So yeah, so right now this is essentially the game, but so the oh, awesome. All right, yeah. So right now, like it's a little bit like you can give and get items, but it's hard to tell exactly what is going on to a certain extent. You can it's just like, okay, well, I'm giving random things and I'm getting random things, and actually it is very random right now. So one of the things that I want to do is to smooth out, or like to figure out exactly, like, basically make it like deterministic, I guess. So like if you give a baguette to a clown, you get a golden mustache. Like, it might not be exactly that, but like, I want that to be a rule. Like, I want it to be something that you can know, like something that you can discover. Because the theme of the jam is, didn't expect that to happen, but okay. So it's going to be a little random, like what you get and what you give, because it's supposed to be a little unexpected, but we also need it to be like okay in the regard that like it needs to be something that like the player can process. So yeah, so the pop-up that we're working on right now is I'm calling it a math pop-up, just because what we're gonna do is we're gonna, like, if you give a baguette to a clown and you get a ring, a golden mustache, I forget what happened, but for example, when that happens, you're gonna see you're gonna see the math, clown plus baguette equals ring, or like whatever. So that way, we want to indicate to the player, like, yes, this is a quality about the game that you just learned. So we also, once we have this math pop up, we're gonna put signs throughout the game where you can get hints, basically. Oh, yeah. Viper, that's so generous. I don't right now, but in the near future, I'm probably gonna start actually like putting out commercial products. So as soon as I have like commercial products ready to go, I'll make sure to add links to like stuff where you can buy that sort of thing, because like, yeah, I do hope to make money at some point. I haven't gotten into that yet, but thank you very much for asking. That is very, very kind of you. Very generous. Thank you. Wow. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't consider myself very materialistic, but I don't like, just it's such a compliment. Like when someone says like, I want to give you money. Like I don't know that, because that's like a very strong endorsement of like I don't know, yeah. So I very much appreciate the compliment. Although yeah, I so after this jam, I know I have to work on side quests a little more. I need to work on the thing that's happening on the bottom of the screen there, because that game has a few bugs in it. But yeah, once we finish this jam and once I get side quest working a little bit better, I am going to start working on like. So the first project that I plan on working after this, I won't talk about this for too long. But the first project that I plan on working after this all this stuff gets sorted out is it's going to be for PC, it's going to be for mobile, it's going to be for tablets and possibly social. It's that almost rhymed. It's this is like I'll post a link to the demo that I have started. Like it's yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's a good point, right? I I guess the holidays are probably a really good time for streamers, because people do feel really generous. I probably should have done that, but I'm doing okay for now. I'm basically like funding myself for now, and no, but I do hope to actually start releasing commercial products soon. The link that I posted in chat is it's a link to the demo, which came out of a jam. Actually, it came out of another jam, and it's the demo from which I plan on making like an actual product. I plan on actually turning that into a game. It's currently, it's not like, the demo version is not playable by people with certain color sightedness. But that's something that I'm solving for the final version, because yeah, that was an important thing for me. So I apologize, because the current demo is not very playable for some people it's unplayable, and for some people it's just not very playable. So I apologize for that. But yeah, I posted that just to give an indication of like what I might be working on in the future. Anyways, back to the jam. Yeah, right. So we're setting up. Oh yeah, right. I was putting in new variables, right? Because we have the receipt pop-up duration, and we have the time at which to hide the receipt pop-up. But now we need basically the same thing. So time at which to hide math pop-up equals 0 for starters, and then public floats, not gloats. Public gloat would be, my games are so good. Sorry. Oh gosh. I the it's just it's such a it's a very crippling feeling when I realize how bad a joke I've made. Anyways, yeah, well, I haven't released any games yet, because I started out relatively recently. I do have some more demos, but yeah, I don't have any like commercial products yet. Check back next year. No, well, yeah, actually, I mean, in the coming year, so I posted a link to my website where there are a few more demos that I'm working on, but yeah, I don't have anything for sale yet. The first link that I posted, I don't have a real name for it, but I'm calling it is the dev name. That game is going to be my first release, and I'm hoping to get that out ASAP, I guess. Pretty soon. You know, within the next. I actually have no clue how long it's going to take me to make that. I keep saying like within months. I don't know how realistic that is. I know like the development shouldn't take more than a few months, but I don't know how long. I don't know how much else is involved with like the release process after that. I mean, I have like a rough idea of how the release process goes. I just don't know exactly how long it's going to take me to get through it if I have to do all of it myself. I like when I worked at a AAA studio, like there was a publishing team that handled all that stuff, and so yeah. Thank you, Viper. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you found the stream, because I stream a lot too. I do like 30 hours a week. So if this is your thing, then there will be plenty of it. Yeah, my normal streaming hours. It's a little weird this week because it's like holidays and I have family visiting. But my normal schedule is Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, okay. I should write that down somewhere so I can stop just saying it a lot. I say that a lot, but anyways. So, all right. So now we have our new variable. Thank you, Viper. I have to say, Viper, you're in strong contention for cool person of the day. And the day's only been going for like half an hour so far, so you're off to an astounding lead. All right, so float and public float, time at which to hide, blah blah blah. All right, so one of the things we have to do is when we show this pop up, we have to set the time. We have to set it active. So math pop up dot set active true. We have to say time at which to hide math pop up equals time dot. Oops, no, capital T time. Time dot time plus math pop up duration. And yeah, that's all we have to do here. The other thing we have to do is on update, we have to check if math pop up dot active self. So if active self. I don't know why I didn't autocomplete that. And time at which to hide math pop up is less than time dot time. Then that's the time that we hide the math pop-up. So then math pop-up dot set active false. Wait, did I set false in the other case too? Or did I set it true down here, right? Yeah, true. Okay, cool. Sorry, just 1 second. I'm not going anywhere, but excuse me. All right. Yeah. So. Cool. Now, now let's actually do something with this pop-up instead of just showing it and hiding it. Let's say, right, okay, so we have the NPC type, we have the item type give, and the item type get. So, alright, so basically we just have to say, math pop-up icon, right? Okay, so math pop-up icon index 0 dot. This is the game object. So we want material. No, we want renderer dot material dot main texture, because we want to change the texture to be the 0. I think we want character first. Hey, Mr. Cool 9990, welcome. How's it going? Happy holiday, Christmas, winter, joyous festival, celebratory family occasion, 2014. So we want to, so for when we show the math icon, or when we show the math pop-up, we want to set the first icon to be the NPC type. So NPC, what is it? NPC. Oh no, I called this something different. I should probably rename it. What did I call? What am I calling the list of the NPC icons? Character pings. My naming conventions are a little messy, but whoops. All right, so character pings, index. NPC type. Plus 3, I think, is how I usually do this. Because I don't count the skeleton. I have the skeleton in this array, but I don't count the skeleton, so usually wizard baby is 0. Yeah, I think that's correct. We can always come back and fix it if it's not. So then math pop-up icon index 1 is going to be the item type give. Alright, so we do this again. The render material main texture equals what did the item what did I call the item? Icon images. Ugh, my naming conventions, so unimpressive. Icon images index and this is just the item type give. Yes. And then last but not least, we want to set the pop-up to, or index pop-up icon index 2 to be equal to item type get. I think that's all we have to do in order to get the pop-up to work. And now we just have to incur show math pop-up at the appropriate occasion. For example, here. So show math pop-up. Yeah, so oh wait, we might need to do this earlier on. Because we have to do this before we. Oh, what's up? Hold on, sorry, wasn't paying attention to chat. Oh yeah, wait, hold on. Sorry, yeah, links don't get posted automatically, but this is the link that Mr. Cool posted. Oh, whoa. That's cool. Yeah, I've been looking at, or I've been trying to find stuff that can keep me productive when I'm not, like, at a computer. Because, like, sometimes I'll only have my tablet with me, and I'll be like, I wish I was doing something right now. But, yeah, alright, that's cool. Actually, I'll add that to my list of things that I should check out when I get a chance. I have this long list, because I haven't gotten around to actually, like, going through this list of things that I have to check out, but I have this long list of links that people post that I have to check out. So thank you, Mr. Cool. So do I have do I game at all? And if I do, yeah, I actually game a lot. When I'm not streaming, I'm probably gaming. I don't game on stream. I only dev on stream, but when I'm like the games. Ooh, right now Blizzard has like a stranglehold on my life because they came out with an expansion to World of Warcraft last month, and I resubbed just to check that out, and my subscription is actually still active because I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably not gonna like stick with it forever, but there's still more. There's enough there that I've had fun experiencing it. And then the other game that I spend a lot of my time playing is Hearthstone. So yeah, no, they've got like a grip on me. Blizzard has like a grip on most of my time right now. But like they just came out with a lot of new expansions because Hearthstone also came out with a new expansion recently. I haven't been. I have a lot of consoles, but I haven't been playing my consoles as much. Actually, I've been giving away my consoles because I don't play them very much. Like I used to have an Xbox One, but I gave it to a friend because I knew he would like it. He would, because like I just had it sitting on my desk for like so long that I eventually I just gave it to my friend because he probably plays it a lot. I hope, at least I hope he's having fun with it. And then like I have a Wii U, but also like I play my Wii U like once a year, and so I'm probably gonna give that away too. And I also have like a PS3 that I've had for years, and like I oh gosh, no, I've probably played my PS3 like maybe like 8 times total in the past like 7 years or so. And like I have a Vita and a 3DS, but again, like I don't think I've played my Vita in well over a year, and I got it like a year ago, and I haven't played it since I got it basically. I mean, there are a lot of great games. I just, for whatever reason, like when I don't know. I think it's because I spend so much time at a PC that whenever like for the PC, like I probably have if I feel like playing a game, my PC is probably on already. So it's just really convenient to play a PC game. Whereas like if I wanted to switch over to a console game, I'd have to like go fire up the console, and like that alone is enough to like to dissuade me, or like to like that enough, I think, is what tips the balance such that I spend most of my time gaming on PC instead of consoles. But I'm probably weird, so I don't know. All right, so what are the variables we want here? So we need the character type, which is NPC we are interacting with. No. NPC's type NPC we are interacting with. Oh, and +1? Wait, why +1? Oh, no, no, okay, so... Okay, so let's figure out what these things are. Hold on, I'll just leave it here for a second. I think I need to put this somewhere else, but I'm just going to leave it there for a second so I can start plugging in the variables. So the NPC type is the NPC type of the NPC we're interacting with. The give type, I think, is why we have to do this sooner, because I think it's this. I think it's this, but we're zeroing this out. Like we're resetting this right here, so we'll have to. So it will be this value, but it'll be this value before this line. Like so we. I guess I can move it now. So oops. So this has to at least go before here. And so then the last thing, the type that we get, place item, no, calculate loot drop, yeah, oh, right. Oh, okay, yeah, here we go. Items type, NPC we're interacting with. All right, cool. Yes. All right, so these are the things that we have to do. So, all right, we haven't set up the math, so it's not going to be consistent yet. In fact, so the rules that show up, FPS or RPG or other, yeah. I'd say my favorite FPSs of all time have been GoldenEye for the N64, and then again for the GameCube, and Team Fortress 2. So I don't play like tons of FPSs, but like those are some of my favorite games of all time, not just my favorite FPSs of all time. For RPGs, yeah, I do like RPGs. Like part of the reason I got the Vita was because, whoops, was because I'd never played the Persona. Was it Persona 3? And I really wanted to, and I did. That was like why I got a Vita, and that was like the game that I spent a lot of time playing, and then I haven't basically touched my Vita since then. But yeah, Persona, it was really good. Like I can see why people really liked it. I didn't actually finish it, but I was having a great time with it. Other RPGs, I like a lot of RPGs. I mean, I guess it's like a strategy RPG, but like Final Fantasy Tactics is one of my favorite games of all time. Sorry, I'm just My desk is like slightly. I was just nudging things around. Sorry, don't mind me. Um, all right, so yeah, so the math pop up should now work. Like it shouldn't make any sense, but because we haven't made sense yet. But like, okay, so when I go up to this deer, I can interact with it. I can give it a stick, and once I hit the give button, we should get a pop. We should get the math pop up, and it should say deer plus stick equals something, and the something that it says should also be on the ground where the deer was just standing. So give. So yeah, okay. So deer plus stick equals sword, and now there's a sword on the ground, so that works. And so now it should say yellow person plus sword equals whatever gets left on the ground. So yellow person plus sword equals breadstick. Cool. The baguette has become a breadstick, I guess, because to me, if I say French fry, baguette, or breadstick, I'm talking about that item because it's a baguette, but to me it looks like a French fry, and also I guess breadstick is like what you get if you mix a baguette and a French fry. But whatever. All right, so now that we have that working, we could go and like actually set up the math there, I guess, like the math, like the item math, so that the game is actually something that you can learn from and actually something that you can predict. I if you no, sorry, I just remembered something. At some point I might have to take a super quick break. I was thinking I might take a super quick break, but I'm not. At some point I might have to, but no, I think we're fine. Okay, pardon. Um, right. Okay. So yeah. So right now, what happens when you give when we calculate loot drops? There are a few loot drops for which we have specified cases, and we return specific items. But for for most of the cases, we just like pick one at random. So that's what's gonna change. Now for each NPC type, we're going to have a very specific table of what you get based on what you give. So I might even like. Oh, this is unreachable code. Yeah. All right. So I don't need that. Save that. Oh, actually, there are a few little things that pop up in the console when I switch back and forth. Oh yeah, min time of next input. Oh, and trade points. Yeah, I'm not using. Yeah, actually, I can get rid of these. Yeah, these are things that I had put in, but don't actually mean anything. Input cooldown. Min time of next input. Yeah, these don't actually do anything. Oh. Oh, I was using that? Oh. But I was never setting it. I never actually set min time of next input. Right? Yeah, so this was always evaluating to be true. So I can just get rid of that. Alright, oops, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I wasn't actually doing that. What was the other thing that I was going to get rid of? Oh yeah, the trade points. Yeah, trade points was going to make sense, but whatever. I don't care. Alright, so, huh. So, yeah, okay, so in terms of, like, so how is this math actually, oh, sorry, I have my tablet set up still, and so my camera's really far away, and my computer feels really far away because of that. I'm just gonna move this out of the way for a second. Sorry, 1 second. Hey, alright, there we go. So, yeah, what is this formula going to be about? I guess the formula, like the thing you have to do in order to get the thing you need will probably be fairly simple, fairly straightforward. So I think okay, so there are important items and there are less important items. I think hmm. All right, so actually I'm gonna draw out a map of this before I try and spec it in. So we have what do we have? We have a and now of course I want my tablet, but whatever. So we have a actually I'll just use the text tool. We have deer, we have clown, we have yellow person, we have wizard baby, and we have actually let's space these out further. And we have infinite ad monster. Alright, so the items we have are stick, baguette. Actually, I should put these in order. Yeah, I might as well put these in order. Actually, so I'll just make paint a little bit smaller so I can actually see that. Actually, I'll just close the layers for a second. There we go. So yeah, all right. So we have baguette, ring, sword, golden mustache, wand. Oops. Oops. Ruby, eye, and the bone sword is what ends the game. So we don't have to care about that. Alright, so I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay, so oh yeah, and the stick. I forgot the stick. I'll put this stick. Whatever. No, I'll just put the stick here. Oops. Wait, why are you not typing? Oh, because I'm outside of the selection range. Derps. Alright, so stick. Alright. Whoops. Alright. Oops. No. Copy, paste. Okay, so the stick is what you start the game with. So, for everyone, so like, oh wait, I should have done this the other way around. Or something. No, alright, so this is just going to be slightly confusing, I guess. So, oh yeah, no, I know what I'll do. Alright, I'll just assign colors to the characters. Sorry, just 1 second. So the deer is, actually no, I should assign sensible colors so that I can remember more clearly. So the deer is brown, of course. Everyone knows that. The clown is funny colored. Actually, it should be orange. The clown is orange because I think the clown's bright hair is orange. So the clown is orange. The yellow person is yellow, of course. The wizard baby is blue. And the infinite ad monster is red. Alright, so the pedestrian ones are the deer, the clown, and the yellow person. And actually, the stick is the most simple case. So a stick always has to give you a mundane item. Because the stick is what you start with. You can't get like an important quest item just from the stick. So you give the stick to the deer, and so is this maybe a little thinner than that. So you give the stick to the deer, and let's say you get the baguette. I don't know. I can change this, but like so you give the stick to the baguette to the deer, and you get the baguette. You give the stick to the clown, and you get the ring, for example. You give the stick to the yellow person. You get the sword, maybe. It's actually I need to darken this tone just because it doesn't really show up very well. Maybe not quite that dark. You give the stick to the yellow person, you get the sword. You give the stick to the... Oh, wait. We only have like 4 mundane items, and then it starts getting into quest items. So we might need a little bit of duplication. So like, we could also do tiers too. We could say like the baguette and the ring are like tier 1. So like if you give a stick to anybody, you only get the baguette or the ring. Because if we're gonna have duplication, we could still... Okay. No, I don't think we have to go that crazy with it. I think it just like there's the general tier and then there's the quest items. So yeah, so stick to Wizard Baby. I guess we'll give you the golden mustache. And then stick to Infinite Ad Monster. I don't know, maybe the baguette. Because we have to have some duplication, so like maybe that's fine. This is gonna get really messy really fast. So yeah, so yeah. Excuse me. I've been propping myself up with coffee all week, so my energy levels are really, really variable. I apologize for the extent to which I yell on stream, which will probably be a lot. Alright, so the stick can't lead to the wand. So I think alright, so yes, so for starters, there's this whole like circle of mundanity that has to occur when you're just trading tier 1 items, or like, so the stick I'll call is tier 0. The tier 1 will be like the things you get from the stick or from other tier 1 items, and then there'll be the tier 2, which is the quest item. So tier 0 will get you to tier 1. Tier 1 can just spin in circles. You can just get stuck in tier 1 if you just keep giving, like, if you just keep giving things, like if you just keep giving tier 1 items to the quote unquote wrong people, you'll just end up with tier 1 items in an endless circle. But if you give the correct tier 1 item to a person, then you get a tier 2 item. So it's not going to be the item that they give you. The item that they... So like I guess for each character, there's going to be one tier 1 item that they never give you. And that's the one that if you give to them, they'll give you the wand, I guess. Or, no, maybe it's the ruby. Maybe it just goes right to the ruby. Okay, so okay, so, yeah. Okay, so, So actually, maybe the wand can be part of the, so we know the eye is what ends it. So actually, alright, so yeah, so no, the Infinite Ad Monster, if you give the Infinite Ad Monster a stick, it'll give you the wand. And then, so the Wizard Baby's not going to be quite as special anymore. So, alright, so yeah, so this, I think, is going to be a true statement. So select all, copy, file, new. So this is going to be like essentially like how you get from tier 0 to tier 1. That's because you're not listening, Bambi King, is why you don't understand this graph. If you were listening to what I was saying, you would understand what this graph means. Here, let me continue speaking about what this graph means. So the way you get from so sticks are tier 0, so the way you get from tier 0 to tier 1 is by giving a stick, and depending on what person you give it to, you get a different tier 1 item. So now let's get rid of those arrows. Oops. So now the way you get tier 2, so tier 2 is the ruby. I've decided. The wand is no longer tier 2. The wand is just like, is tier 1. So, yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Please, yeah, anyways. Welcome, Bambi King. Drew here. Hey, how's it going? Oh, yeah, yeah, when I'm talking, which is pretty much all the time, I try to be explaining what's going on. So if you ever want to know what's going on, feel free to listen. If you have a specific question, feel free to ask a specific question. Just BT dubs. All right. So here's how you get the tier 1 items. You give a stick to a person, and you get the tier 1 items. And the arrows are... I'm doing some color correspondence here. So, wait, actually, hold on. I did change the tone of this yellow because the other yellow wasn't dark enough. So, all right. Anyways. All right, so to get to get the ruby, so we all know... well, okay, so... Actually, I'm going to do the end game first. I'll do... I'm going to do the end game first just to get that out of the way, because the end game, as we know, is that you give the infinite-eyed monster the ruby, and you get the eye. So I guess that's the whole end game. So I don't need that description. So the way you get the ruby, though, so the infinite-eyed monster will never give you the ruby, because actually no, I can do this all on the same level. So after tier 1. Like, so let's say, so this is, I don't want to draw them all on the same page because it'll get really confusing if I try and draw them all on the same page. But, like, so here's basically, like, the first step. This is, like, how the game starts. And then once the game is in progress, the way you get the so once you have the ruby, you give it to the infinite monster to get the eye. But in order to get the ruby, you have to give the right item to the right person. So, for example, in order for the wizard baby to give you the ruby, as we previously defined... You have to give the wizard baby the wand in order to get the ruby, because the wizard baby wants the wand. Oh, and actually, I'll probably have to change this a little bit, because I think I said to get the ruby, you have to get the... Or I said when you give the stick to the deer, you get the baguette, but I think that's actually not going to be the case, because I think actually to get the ruby from the deer, I think you want to give the deer the baguette. So, yeah, so this is just like... This is not final. This is like a work in progress. Why did you turn red, you weirdo? Whatever. All right. So yeah. So to get the ruby from the deer, you give. Oops. Wow. Paint.net has some quirks. So to get the ruby from the deer, you give it the baguette. To get the ruby from the clown, you give it the ring. I guess clowns like rings, right? I don't know. Or, so clown. If you give the ring to the clown, you get the ruby. If you give the golden mustache to the yellow person, I guess that makes sense, right? Right, so what I'm specking out now, Bambi, is the important stuff. Because, so these are like the key transactions. Like, these transactions we're drawing out here are basically how you win the game. And so then after we do this, after we spec out how you win the game, we're basically just going to populate the rest of the transactions with like kind of like circuitous like trading within tier 1. Because if you're not making the correct trades, you're basically just treading water until you can figure out what are the correct trades. There's one other thing to keep in mind is that if you give the... I'll draw this out later, but if you give the ruby to anyone other than the infinite-eyed monster, you get a stick. And that's to... Because I think players will recognize that the stick is very starter level. Yeah. No. Sorry. The stick is very starter level, and so I want some way for the players to know that, like that's probably not something you want to do again in the future. So, like, we want players to recognize the value of the ruby, and so giving the ruby to the infinite monster will give you the eye, which is how you beat the game, and it's it's an important step to beating the game. But giving it to anyone else will just give you a stick. Yeah, right. So actually, maybe giving a tier 1 item to... If you give a tier 1 item to any other character, maybe you should get sticks then, too. Maybe we should start early in emphasizing that, like, there are correct decisions and there are incorrect decisions. So, Oh, yeah, and the treasure sound effects. Right, yeah, thank you. No, it's not going to be when you put it in your inventory, is it? No, I think it's going to be when you get it. And actually, now that I think about it, it'll probably be for any correct transaction. Like, a transaction that results in a stick is probably not going to play that sound. And actually, now that I think about it, the majority of transactions will probably end in a stick. But then if you trade, yeah, no. If you trade and get something other than the stick, like if you actually move up through the tiers, hey, G here, welcome, thank you for tuning in. If you actually move upward through the tiers, then you, oh, sorry, I usually say when I get a new follower, I usually say, I appreciate your viewership and your support, which I do, G here, thank you. Sorry for mispronouncing your name. Um, so, yeah, so the sound effect and the fact that you're not getting a stick will be how we reinforce that you did good. Like, all right, so, yeah, cool. Yeah, thank you for reminding me, Bambi King. I don't think in terms of audio. I'm also going to forget to re-enable the music at some point. So someone has to remind me at some point I want to re-enable the music. I'm not doing it now because I'm jumping in and out of play mode, and it would get distracting to just have that music playing, like constantly restarting and restarting and restarting. But we will want to re-enable that at some point. All right, so the clown wants the ring. The yellow person wants the golden mustache, of course, to complete their yellow look. Is that all of them? Oh, and the infinite eye monster never gives you a ruby, so that's good. So no one wants the sword because swords are stupid. Uh, so, oh yeah, I said that the deer can't give you the baguette because the baguette is the deer's item. Oh, and the clown can't. Why does this freaking stop changing colors? You stupid thing. Enter. There we go. Sorry. So the clown can't give you the ring because the clown wants the ring. But yeah, this was just like an example. All right, so I should probably set this up. Uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, we have a very nice sword art, but I don't like swords. I mean, like I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So this is basically going to be. So I guess this is the important part of the spec, and then what we have to make sure is that basically like the characters who so we just have to make sure the deer never gives you the baguette, the clown never gives you the ring, so on and so forth, and then every other transaction just has to. So like there's gonna be, it's not gonna be this because like we just like I said, like you know baguette ring, deer clown whatever. The way I spec'd it out is incompatible, but there's gonna be something similar to this to get you into tier 1, and this is how you get from tier 1 to tier 2, but. And from tier 2 to tier 3. But every other transaction I think is going to give you a stick. Alright, I think that's going to be the... I think that's the rule. Alright, we did it, you guys. We did it. Alright, so... yeah, alright. So, I guess we don't have to go as crazy with this drop type stuff, but I'm gonna start over. I'll comment out the old version. But yeah, so we are going to switch on NPC type. Switch on NPC type, but now we have to do like literally all of the cases. So case 0. Sorry, I have to take. Sorry, I have to take a super quick break. I won't be gone very long, but I just have to step away from the keyboard for. It'll only be a couple minutes. I'm not literally literally refilling my water bottle, but this is the only AFK message I have. So I'll be back super fast. Sorry for the delay. I like just if you can wait a few minutes, we'll when I get back, we'll start hooking up the thing that I just spec'd out. Sorry. Hey, sorry. Alright, sorry about that. Hey, Lauren. You know what I just realized is, I should add a mode to side quest so that when I step away from the keyboard, I can just make the events go like rapid fire. So that way, if and when I have to step away from the keyboard, Trusty Bard can just take over and basically like run the stream for me while I'm gone. Kinao, hey, how's it going? Uh, wait, um, what did I miss while I was gone? Uh, yeah, sorry for the delay. I I don't expect any further interruptions. I'm an idiot. Uh, yeah, that puppy. He he's probably super embarrassed, right? Because it probably just happened that one time. Like the puppy was playing with the water bottle and he happened to flip over the pool. Oops. And now the internet won't shut up about it. The internet just remembers it forever. And I'm sure when that puppy, who's probably a full-grown dog at this point, whenever he sees that GIF, he's probably like, that again. Right? It's so embarrassing. All right. um, sorry. Sorry again about the delay. All right. So, what were we doing? We were right. Okay. We were setting up our cases. So case 0. So for NPC type, yeah. So case 0 break. Actually, no, it's not break. It's return item type. Return drop type. Because it never gets whatever. All right, so initialize it's like -1 or something. Just for now. We don't really need to be doing that in actuality. All right, so copy this. Paste. So how many cases do we have? We have 5 different cases because there are 5 different NPC types. Excuse me. Excuse me. XPC never resets. Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry, the 0 experience bug is a bug. It's just a text bug. It just says 0 experience. It doesn't actually no one like it doesn't you don't actually lose experience from it. Lauren was saying that there might be a bug where you temporarily stop gaining experience, and I haven't had time to investigate that yet. Hey, Rest Junior, how's it going? Welcome. But yeah, you never lose experience. I have oh sorry, I'm just kicking at my desk to get it slightly in better position. Again, sorry. Yeah. So sorry about. So like this week is the first week that SideQuest is actually running in stream. So this is like the beta period. So sorry for the bugs. I want to get those ironed out I want to get those ironed out soon. So oh wait, what? What happened? Oh. Wait a second. Yeah, wait, what happened? Oh, whoa. Is that Lauren? Wow, yeah, you have a lot of items. That's cool. Oh, and 300. Huh. All right, I did do like a quick tuning pass. I didn't think I messed anything up, but huh. All right, well, Lauren, you have been playing the game a lot, so if you have a lot of items, that probably makes sense. It's probably legit. Anyways, I'll just assume that's legit for now. Lauren is probably like I think it's fair to say that Lauren is like the top player. Like if there was a professional side quest league, Lauren would be like the world's top ranked side quester. All right, so we have 4 cases for the different characters. Let me just wait. What? Not all code paths return a value. Oh, interesting. Yeah, sure. All right, whatever. Oh, because there's not a default, whatever. All right, so return drop type. Happy? Are you happy now? No. Oh, whoops, I forgot to put it. Oh yeah, this is supposed to be outside the switch. Right. Right. There we go. So yeah. Uh, yeah. Okay. So what? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It actually goes. That actually reflects baby monster person clown Bambi. Baby monster person clown Bambi. So baby monster yellow person clown Bambi. Alright, Babme. Not quite the same. Bambi. There we go. Sorry, 1 second. Excuse me. So the so we want a I guess we want another switch for each of our we want to switch on item type for each of our characters. Specifically, there are going to be 2 cases that we have to handle in a specific manner, and then a default case which will return a stick. Because each character can return a tier 1 item. It might not be that literally every other transaction returns a stick, but I can call it deer if I can call that character. You made that character, and you said that character was Bambi, which is why I keep calling it Bambi. But if you want me to call it deer, I can call that character deer. Oh. Good job to all you stand-in kings who declared it a national holiday today, because I think you're correct. I think it technically is, right? In some parts of the world. All right. Clever. Item type. So we switch on item type. Oops. Nope, not that. Switch on item type. And so we have the default case. The default case is when we return a stick. Excuse me. Oh, we don't actually need drop type anymore, do we? Because we were only using drop type for calculations purposes. Sorry, I just have to mute my microphone for 1 second. I'm about to sneeze. Sorry about that. If I say a jumbled mess of words, unintelligible words, and then I mute the microphone, I probably just tried to say that I was about to sneeze, and then I muted the microphone. Sorry about that. I'm allergic to something in my new apartment, and I don't know what yet. So, anyways. So we have the default case in which, in all the default cases, we are going to return, what's the item type for a stick? The item type for a stick is, well, we call it a rock, but it's 8. 8 is the stick type. Return 8. Stick. Well, that's not a question people ask, Clonze. It's supposed to be a joke. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I get what you mean. No one asks that question. Everyone asks. Anyways. If people ask that question, the answer would be a lot easier. But no one asked that question. Alright, so Yeah, right. So we don't actually need that. So switch on item type. So we need a case. Actually, I'm just gonna slide this over. I'm just gonna resize Visual Studio so we can actually see our item list, which will make it a lot easier to remember which items are which as we go to set this up. All right, so case. So for the baby, the wizard baby, we need a special case. Oh yeah, so for all of them we need a special case the stick. So case 8, which we decided is the stick. We need to return a specific thing. So when you give the baby a stick, well, I can figure that out later. But for now, I'll just say something compatible. So baguette, sure, why not? Return 0. I'll stop writing these notes because I can just look to the side if I want to. If I want to see. No. Oh, so yeah. So what happened, Carl, with Lauren's experience is that I before I started the game today, I tweaked the formula for experience, and so the way that works though is that if I make it so I think I overdid it. What I was trying to do was I was trying to change like I was trying to tweak the formula for. Actually, you know what? Okay, so I'm going to bring side quests down for a second, because we're not in the middle of the event, so now is an okay time to end the script. I'm going to end the script, because what I was doing earlier today is I was tweaking the formula for how much experience. Oh, that's going to seem weird. Yeah, whatever. So, so the change that I'm about to make is going to make it seem like people are losing experience. Which is going to be, so maybe I should just leave it like this. I'll just leave it like this. Alright, I'll tell you what I did. Everyone gained experience. Everyone gained experience. Lauren gained more experience because Lauren was higher level than most players when I made this change. Because I changed the formula for the level thresholds, when I do that, what happens is I put in. So if anyone was here last week, they'll have seen that I put in a protocol on Thursday that if I change the level balance, the numerical amount of experience displayed might change for a player, but they will never lose a level for it. Like if I change the level thresholds, you won't lose any of your items. Your numerical experience representation, the numerical representation of your experience points is going to reflect your current level, because if I rebalance the levels and you don't lose, like you never lose a level, but if I rebalance the levels, there'll be a different effective net experience for your current level, if that makes sense. So because I changed the level thresholds, and Lauren didn't lose any levels, it now looks as if Lauren just gained like a whole bunch of experience overnight. And this is actually true for everyone. It's most noticeable for Lauren because Lauren had the most experience, and therefore because it scales, Lauren got the biggest bump. But so the short version of that long story is that I rebalanced the levels, and the experience points we're seeing are based on the new level balance. But no one lost and no one. So technically, everyone gained experience. And what just occurred to me is that if I balance the levels again, it'll seem like people lost experience, but it's kind of an illusion because, well, this is beta, so okay, so let me assure you of one other thing. There's experience points and there's influence points, which are almost literally the same thing. Because the way you gain influence is by participating in an event. Excuse me. The way you gain influence points is by participating in an event, and the amount of influence points you get is exactly equal to the amount of experience that you gain from that event. The difference between influence and experience is that when I rebalance the levels, your influence levels never change. So regardless of how I balance the game, your influence levels will always perfectly reflect exactly how much participation you have had in this game, right? So clearly Lauren has the highest influence points because Lauren has participated the most, and like Carl has a ton of influence points because Carl participated the most. You guys don't really see influence points. You guys see experience points because that's what shows up in the game. I see influence points on my side of the screen because I use influence points. Well, when I become a better game master, I'll be using influence points in order to shift the course of the game. So, for example, when we start adventuring, like when I start making side quest a more narrative experience, and like we actually like play it like a tabletop role playing type game, when we have to make important decisions, like Lauren's vote, like the decisions that Lauren makes are gonna have a lot of impact on those circumstances because Lauren has a lot of influence points, and Carl as well. So like so newer players will still be able to participate in these decisions, but their votes won't, like they're like when we have to make one of these decisions, then you know, like yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, like this is the first week that this is the first week that we're actually playing side quest on stream, and admittedly, I've let Trusty Bard basically do his own thing all week, and it's been valuable because we got a lot of good testing in, but yeah. So I guess I just wanted to take that aside to reassure people that I'm going to I'm going to be rebalancing the game a lot. One thing to keep in mind is that you'll never lose levels, you'll never lose items. Like, okay, well, I mean, if there's a weird bug, like, I apologize if you lose levels and items, because you're never supposed to lose items, you're never supposed to lose levels. And you're never supposed to, your influence points are never supposed to change. In fact, those shouldn't happen. I'm pretty sure I did an okay job of making sure that those things will never happen. The one weird thing that I didn't even really think about it until today, your experience points will actually change. It'll look like you have more or less experience points because since you're, like I said before, since you're not losing levels, that number will kind of scale as I change the game balance. So the numbers that we see today, it's not how do I say this? It's not representative of the fact that you have a different you've had like a different history through the game. It's that the history you've had through the game is now worth a different amount, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know hopefully all that stuff made sense, or some made enough sense, and I'll get back to you what we were working on. Let me know if you guys have questions about how side quest works, or anything really. I'm here to be as informative as I can. All right, so right, we're selecting out these. So for each of these NPC cases, we're going to switch on item type, and we're going to have a case 8, and we're going to have a default. The other thing we're going to have is at least one other case. We're going to have a case 8 that returns something. We're going to have a something that returns something, and we're going to have a default that returns 8. So, because 8 is the stick, which is a very important item. It's called the rock, but it's actually a stick. It was going to be a rock at first, but I didn't want it to look like an obstacle. All right, so for the baby, so the baby has to have another case 4, because in case 4, the baby returns a ruby. It'll return 5, because 5 is ruby. If you don't know where I'm getting these numbers from, it's on this side of the screen here. It's the indexes of our items. So, all right. Yeah. So most of the time you don't get any experience points for sighing or for cowering or for staring at your feet or for acting casual. You know, essentially like those are kind of your way of actively choosing to do nothing. There is an exception to that. In the meadow, if you choose to cower in fear, you can actually gain experience for cowering in fear in the meadow. Or so one way to tell if those actions are real or not is if they show up as action tags on screen. If they show up as action tags on screen, that means they're actually real things that you can do. If they show up in Trusty Bard's text, but they don't show up as action tags on screen, that means you don't actually get any experience for doing them. Yeah. Good question, Ben Viking. Did I miss anything else in chat? I was like talking for like a year, so. Oh wait. Wait, did you get any influence points? Oh yeah. So I haven't added nobility points to the game yet, but I do want to add nobility points to the game because um oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I could add yeah, hmm. Yeah, I haven't added nobility points yet because yeah, I mean I want to because sometimes people do really cool things and I want to like reward them. I literally want to like reach through the internet and like give them a hug or something. But but no, yeah, that's in my backlog. I haven't put it's not actually in the game yet. So if I when I add that to the game, oh hey Yellow Shark Tag, sorry, I tuned out of chat for a little while, but welcome to everyone who joined in. Sorry for not paying as much attention. Oh, sorry. Merry Christmas, Yellow Swag Tag. Sorry for not paying attention. Um, if you're still here, have fun getting drunk. And if you've already left already, sorry for not having paid attention. But if you've already left already, you can't hear me. So, sorry. All right. Um, all right. So, all right. Let's finish specking out these drops. So, the monster's gonna be a little different. So the monster's gonna have a case 8 that returns 0. The monster's gonna have a case 5, or no. The monster's case 8 can't return 0 because the baby is returning 0. So the monster, I don't know, it'll return 1 or whatever. Maybe I'll just line it up 0 for 0, 1 for 1. I don't know, whatever. So the monster doesn't have a case 4 that returns case 5. It's gonna actually have a case 5 that returns item 6, right? Because 6 is the eye. Yeah. All right. And then the default is that it returns 8. Yeah. All right. So that's easy enough. Actually, let's copy this. So the yellow person has a case 8. It can't return the golden mustache. It can return the sword. Wait. Yeah, the yellow person can return the sword, I guess. So the yellow person, case 8, returns 2. Sure, why not? Oh, what was the question? String indexes? Oh, sorry, Clonze, what did you say? Can you explain why you would use index value over string value? Would not? Oh, because those are more susceptible to typos, I guess. And I typo a lot. um, and I like numbers. I just like numbers. Uh, yeah, I guess maybe if I was more, maybe if I didn't typo as much as I do. I typo like crazy, you guys. I typo like crazy. Uh, so maybe if I was a better typist, then I would use strings. But I like my words per minute are like not impressive, and I just typo like crazy. So. Yeah. All right. I mean, I keep these things in a. Oh, that's the other thing. I keep these things in arrays. Like I use arrays like crazy too. So because I use the indexes of the arrays, I can just throw those in. I don't need to convert from a string to an index in order to get it out of the array. I mean, I guess I could be using like a dictionary sort of thing instead. But I don't know. Arrays are easy. Right. So sorry for not answering your question. If you want your question to be like, if you're asking me a question in particular, feel free to use my name in your question because then it'll show up on red on my screen and it'll be easier for me to notice. All right, so yellow person gives you a sword, and okay, so the yellow person's special case is if you give it the golden mustache. So it has special case 3 that returns 5, right? 5 is the ruby. Yeah, okay. And then